peace. Chrysalis Sun here with BeTheVibe.com, and we are back for another Crystals for the Zodiac. And this week we are featuring the very conscientious Virgos. And I chuckle because, Virgos, you guys are known for being extremely aware of every little thing at all times. And, those who are less kind than me would accuse you of being critical or analytical, which you guys are. However, it serves a purpose. It's the way you guys are wired, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But I just call you super aware and very conscientious. So this week is about you guys. And I'm actually going to focus on a couple of chronic things that you guys experience as your zodiac. So I'm actually going to give some very good tips and crystals for some things that I know that you guys are prone to. All right, but we'll get into that. So Virgos, you guys are born between August 22nd to September 22nd. You are ruled by the planet Mercury, so you are one of the two zodiacs that are ruled by that particular planet, which is the planet of communication. So you guys are all about like contracts, lists, things that are written down. You're all about things being very clear. You like clarity. Attention to detail when it comes to written words. So you guys, that's what you're known for. You are mutable, so you are a sign that goes with the flow. Very moldable, bendable, easygoing for the most part. Not always, but for the most part. When you're balanced, you're very easygoing. And you are represented by the Virgin in the zodiac. And furthermore, a big part of your sign is about being of service. So, one of your mantras is I serve, but the other mantra too is I analyze. So that's what you guys are all about. That's what you're all about. That's what your function is. So, you guys have a lot of very endearing traits. You're very loyal. Very analytical, which makes you great organizers, great people that are, pay attention to detail. You're going to catch those things that nobody else is going to catch. You are very hardworking, pretty awesome work ethic, which is pretty common for the earth signs. All the earth signs are very good with work ethic, Capricorns and Tauruses included. But you guys enjoy and you respect hard work. Virgos, you guys are very practical, very disciplined. So even though you guys are emotional and kind of sensitive in the heart area, you're still gonna, be very practical with your decisions. To the point of a lot of times, a lot of my Virgo friends and clients have this tendency to make a pro and con list when it comes to making like major decisions. So that is a testament to your head or your tendency to be practical. You're very objective, so you're always going to see situations or view situations from a very neutral or objective point of view. Very quick-witted, very quick-witted, and a lot of that has to come out with your personality. Sometimes to the point of being sarcastic. So a lot of Virgos, you guys are known for being kind of sarcastic, and your communication, that has to do with that quick wit. And you guys are frugal. So out of all the earth signs, you guys are the most frugal and the most balanced when it comes to your money. So what are your challenges? Your challenges is, first of all, you guys are fussy as hell. And what that does is it translates as being anxious, and kind of prone to being worrisome, and that has to do with that overanalyzing. So when you get in your head and your ideas start to spin, and you can't really connect with your emotions when it comes to making decisions, or you can't really kind of get out of your head and more into your heart space, what it does is it tends to create a certain level of anxiety. So what I noticed about my Virgo friends and associates and clients is that you guys are very much prone to high levels of anxiety. You guys are very self-sacrificing, so that has to do with your need to serve or to be of service. But what ends up happening is it causes you all to put yourselves in situations where you're in toxic relationships or toxic situations, and that's just the opposite end or the negative end of that loyalty that you guys have. Virgos are shy. You guys are very shy, but there's a certain thing with that. So what I've noticed with Virgos is that there's either the introverted Virgo, which is the antisocial, can't be around a lot of people, doesn't really do public speaking, you know, there's that Virgo, or there's the extroverted Virgo, which is, you know, likes to be around people, likes to go to parties, you know, and things like that. But with both of those sides, you guys do tend to be a little shy, and that has to do with the challenges that you have with your solar plexus, and that self-confidence, which is another challenge, you know, is the solar plexus, is the self-worth, and is, you know, the sense of power or willpower. You guys are overly critical and extremely uptight. So, you know, this is something that I noticed with Virgos, you know, but it's because you guys are analyzing so much that it doesn't allow you to fully relax in your environment, and relax in your setting. And so it just kind of creates a level of just kind of like, you know, all work and no play, you know, just uptight, you know, just not really, you know, allowing yourselves to loosen up and have fun. You guys tend to be pessimistic, and so that's something I noticed too with Virgos, is that, you know, there's a tendency to look at the glass as half empty as opposed to half full, you know, and I think that has to do with your tendency to overanalyze things. And so but that's what you're designed for. You're designed to notice every single flaw in everything. You're designed to notice flaws, just period. And so, you know, because, you know, of that, there's a tendency to kind of expect everything to be perfect, and that's not realistic. But because, you know, you are prone to desiring that perfection, it creates a certain level of pessimism in your view of the world. You guys can be stingy, so that's the other aspect of the, you know, being frugal, is being extremely stingy and selfish, and that's with the imbalance, you know, the imbalance of the frugal energy. A lot of times you guys are known for being interfering, and so because you want to be of service to others, there's a tendency to kind of rush in and want to help in situations without necessarily being invited in, and so it comes across as being quite interfering. And lastly, you guys' biggest challenge is impatience, you know, so you're not really known for having the most patience with other people specifically, and so, you know, it creates a certain level of tension in your personal relationships with other people. A lot of times it's just because, you know, there's an idea of, or an expectation that people should be, you know, where you want them to be, regardless of just wherever they're at. So impatience, you know, you guys don't like waiting for people, you don't like waiting for things, and you kind of want what you want when you want it. Now, as far as crystal recommendations, honestly, Virgos, you guys don't need much, you know, despite your challenges. The reason being is because, you know, your challenges are pretty focused. You know, it deals with you guys either being too analytical, you know, being in your head, stressing yourselves out, or, you know, challenges with your solar plexus. And even like Virgos, you guys tend towards intestinal digestive problems. That stems all from solar plexus issues, or imbalances or blockages. So those are pretty easy challenges to address using, you know, crystal recommendations. Another strength that you guys have is that you're one of the few zodiacs that can actually work with all four elements, earth, air, fire, and water. You can work with all of these without creating any imbalances on your part. However, the two elements that work the best for you are crystals with fire element and crystals with earth element, and those are the ones that you tend to be attracted to. So I just have 4 recommendations for you, and these are going to address, you know, your anxiety, they're going to address your tendency to overanalyze, and they're going to address your intestinal digestive challenges and your solar plexus issues. So the first is actually one that you guys tend to be attracted to is agate. Agate is a form of chalcedony, and which is another way that quartz forms. So it's actually a silicate. It's in the silicate family. And agate, it's funny, it's usually one of those crystals that if you can't figure out what it is, it's an agate. It's kind of like your go-to, right? As far as classification is concerned, but it's so common. It's the rock that you find in the rock bin. You know, it's the ones with the little geodes, you know, the circles and the geodes, the clusters in the middle. and it's got the bands. That's how you can tell what the agate is. And so you guys love agate. You guys are completely attracted to it. It is an earth element crystal, and it comes in all different forms. So there's moss agate, there's, you know, black agate, red agate, there's, you know, all different types, you know, of agate. Agate has a hexagonal crystal formation pattern, and it is tied to the moon. And so this is another reason why Virgos tend to be attracted to agate, is because, you know, again, like I said, you guys are represented by the Virgin. So you're very much, you know, Virgos are very much a feminine zodiac. And so anything that has to do with any goddess energy or moon energy, you guys tend to be drawn towards. And agate is one of those. So agate is going to do everything that you guys need it to do. You know, it's going to protect you, first of all. It is going to clear your anxiety. It addresses any tension. It relieves anxiety, anger, and tension, right? So all those things that you guys, you know, tend to be prone towards, and agate addresses that. And it helps to treat any issues that are tied to the stomach, the uterus, the lymphatic system, and the pancreas. So a lot of the challenges that Virgos, you guys tend to have, agate is gonna address that and do that for you. The next crystal that Virgos tend to be attracted to is moonstone. So moonstone is another crystal that is connected to the moon. However, it is a water element stone rather than a earth element stone like the agate is. And it's also a form of feldspar. Now, I'm going to do a disclaimer because a lot of people will use moonstone and for yoni eggs. And moonstone is not really supportive of use for yoni egg. The reason why is because the hardness isn't hard enough. It's porous. So pieces of it will break off, you know. So if you're using it as a yoni egg, that could be a potential health hazard. But also too, because certain types of moonstone have aluminum in their chemical composition, which is also a health hazard. So my disclaimer is that, you know, you don't want to use moonstone as a yoni egg, but, you know, for meditation, you know, for gridding, you know, for having around the house, it's great for that. Moonstone calms your emotions, you know, calms tension, stabilizes, you know, the mind, stabilizes the aura. You know, it enhances your intuition, you know, which of course, it being connected to the moon and connected to water and goddess energy is definitely going to promote dreaming, you know, your intuition, you know, psychic sight, all of that. Again, moonstone is another one that, you know, assists with solar plexus issues, so the digestive system, the kidneys, the liver, and the pancreas. It also helps with any reproductive, you know, female reproductive issues, and it stimulates the pineal gland. So that is, you know, again, connected with that intuition and that moon energy. Now, the next one I don't recommend this one often because it's an extremely strong energy. However, what I noticed about Virgos is that you guys tend to lack that fire. You know, you guys don't, unless you have Leo in your chart or you're on the end closer to, like, you know, August 31st, you know, or like the end of August, you guys aren't, you know, for the most part, you guys don't have that fire, and sometimes you need it. You know, sometimes you need that extra kick, that extra push. So pyrite. Now, pyrite is a fire and earth element crystal. It is an iron sulfide, you know, so pyrite is also considered fool's gold. You know, it's that, you know, fake gold that you see when you go to crystal shops, like that metallic, brassy gold stone. That's pyrite. I said it's an earth and fire element, and it is masculine energy. So that's the reason why I don't always recommend pyrite. However, like I said, some Virgos, you guys are so, like, in that goddess energy that, you know, there's an imbalance in connecting with your divine masculine as well. So, you know, pyrite is good for the Virgos that, you know, are, you know, a little bit too passive, or that, you know, might need a little bit of, like, that masculine push, that masculine motivation, that masculine, you know, projecting, going out and getting, you know, like that hustle and bustle that, you know, the masculine energy brings in. Pyrite will definitely help with that. It also so supports the solar plexus. You know, I'm going to take a moment to really kind of just really hone in on the fact that, you know, Virgos, you guys need a lot of support with your solar plexus. You know, I don't see any of my zodiacs that have as much of a challenge with protecting that third chakra as you guys do. And it you know, it translates in so many ways. It translates in, you know, being in relationships that aren't healthy, you know, toxic relationships. It translates into, you know, having a lack of boundaries, you know, not able to set boundaries or enforce boundaries, and sometimes not able to respect boundaries. You know, sometimes it'll translate into depression, lack of willpower, lack of personal power. On the other side, I've known so many Virgos to have, you know, pancreatitis, you know, to have kidney problems, to have, you know, liver issues, to have indigestion. You guys are known for having ulcers and hemorrhoids, you know, and stomach acid problems, acid reflux. Like, so you guys' solar plexus is so important to protect. So when you need that, you know, pyrite will definitely offer that, you know. And then on top of that, you guys are sensitive to energy, so pyrite is a protective stone. It's going to clear your environment from, you know, pollution. It's going to, you know, it's going to clear your aura from, you know, negative vibes. It's going, you know, any muck, you know, or, you know, any attachments that might have come into your aura. So that's pyrite definitely supports that. And then lastly, I have another fire element crystal for you guys, and it's actually not a crystal, amber. So, you know, amber's really cool. I don't personally work with amber a lot because it's straight fire, and I don't, you know, if you guys see my Leo video, I talk about why, you know, we don't need that, but, or why I don't need that extra fire. But amber is actually fossilized tree resin. So it's connected to the sun, and it is fire element. Amber protects the 2nd, 3rd, and the 5th chakra. So it's going to protect your sacral, it's going to protect your solar plexus, and it's going to support your throat chakra. Because again, like I said, you know, Virgos, you guys are shy, and so a lot of that shyness translates into you being unable to speak your truth, or being unable to, you know, effectively communicate, you know, what it is that you want to communicate. So the amber will support that, will support you in that. Amber cleanses the body, it cleanses the environment, it draws disease from the body, it supports the nervous system, you know, so, you know, a lot of that anxiety, you know, that you guys have, you know, amber will definitely just clear that out and eliminate that altogether. It balances both hemispheres of the brain, alleviates stress. You know, it's like I said, you guys, you know, are known for stressing yourselves out. So amber will definitely take care of that. It promotes patience, so it will address, you know, that impatience that you guys are known for, and it clears depression because, like I mentioned earlier, Virgos, you guys are you're pretty prone to bits of depression. So amber will knock all of that out. So that's it. Like I said, you know, my very, very, very conscientious Virgo video, it wasn't going to be long. It's going to be just very direct and straight to the point, which is very much Virgo energy. You guys are very direct and straight to the point. So this video is for you, direct and straight to the point. Next week will be Libra. You know, you guys are on deck. And in the meantime, you know, I'm here for any questions, comments, you know, hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, send me an email. My email address will be in the comments or the description, you know, underneath this video. You know, I've been getting more and more people reaching out to me, so I love that. I encourage that. Special announcements: I am hosting a retreat in Atlanta, Georgia, in October, a weekend meditation retreat. So if you want to go to my website and events, the information about that is up. I'm also publishing a book, so the complete guide to crystal medicine will be due to release in the fall, in September to be exact. And but it's already up for pre-sale, you know, for those who want to grab it now. It's up with a special pre-sale price. So, you know, I'm starting to publish the crystal books as you guys have asked me to do. So I am definitely excited about that. And that's pretty much it. Again, these are very generic videos, you know, very surface level, you know, generic, you know, just to kind of get you by. But if you really want to know details specifically to, you know, your own if you want to know, I got excited about the book, so it got me tongue-tied. But like I was saying, if you guys have any specific questions about your own case, or your own natal chart, give me a buzz. I do consultations, and if you want to specifically know about your natal chart, I suggest you reach out to Shaman Hands. I'm gonna have his information at the end of this video. You want an astrological reading, he's definitely it. He is on Instagram as Spirit Science Institute, and he is now on Facebook under Shaman Hands. So hit him up for those natal chart readings. Hit me up for any crystal consultations, and I will see you guys next time for the Libra video. Peace.